tonight. I'll tell you what, it was a good spring game. You go through and you never know how things kind of play themselves out. We didn't really have any injuries tonight, and I think our guys were able to play hard. I was really pleased with the amount of live reps we got. About 65 snaps of live goes, which I just think our team needs right now. And got a lot of young guys out there that just need to keep hitting, keep blocking, keep tackling, keep running to the football and executing. Both phases, offense and defense. Did a little bit of special teams, but just thought that part was what accomplished what we wanted to get done. We wanted to be crisp and sharp. Peyton obviously had to take a whole bunch of reps himself, so we got tried to give him a little bit of break and get Mike some reps there on some Skelly. And then you kind of go back. There was 3 takeaways by defense, which was very big. That's our goal for a game. Then obviously, the other side of the ball gave it up, which isn't good. So got to protect the football, and we've really done a good job of that the entire spring on offense. But our defense is a takeaway-driven team, and that's what we emphasize, and we attack that football, and that's what our guys did tonight. So just got to secure the ball on offense and keep taking the ball away on defense. And so some guys made some individual plays. But overall, really pleased with the 15 opportunities that we were given, and I think our guys maximized every one of them, and it was a good conclusion to a great spring.
Zach.
We've asked about it a couple different ways through spring ball, but in this setting, lights on, maybe a little bit of pressure on, do you feel like you saw kind of defensively the blend of speed and execution that you're going to be looking for from that unit this fall?
I think so. We go back and watch the film, but I think just we kept it pretty simple. Didn't bring a lot of pressures, not a lot of movements up front, but just let the guys just get their eyes right, get their feet set, and play football. And the speed that we have as a team, the depth that we have, to run a lot of times ones and twos come in there on defense, and we not really any change at all, in the level of execution and the speed of the football. So those are the kind of things. That's what we got to have in recruiting. We got to continue to develop our guys in these next 3 months. I challenged them after the scrimmage there how important these next 3 months are, and how it's got to be really an emphasis of speed development, the physicality, strength. Got to get stronger up front on both sides of the football. We got a lot of young guys that need that weight room. Those 3 months are huge, and so that will be a continual focus for us. But I was pleased with just assignments. Didn't have a lot of space to work in offensively because the defense was where they were supposed to be for the most part, and tackled pretty well.
Matt.
Coach, Donovan Hill's a guy that's struggled with injuries, especially lower leg injuries in his career. This spring he seems to be healthy and maybe as lean and in shape as he's ever been and moving really well. Is that what you guys have seen, and how excited are you for the season he could have?
Absolutely. A year ago at this time, we had him on a play count, and that carried into fall camp, and that was really the only way that we ever were able to get him. But I tell you what I see it as is it's a combination of our strength staff does a phenomenal job working with our medical staff, and that's how I believe it's supposed to be, and that's what we've gotten to, and they work so well together that he's one example of many where he's able to go from a guy that's been limited in the past to where it's really become a non-issue, and so even tonight, he was there in the fourth quarter out there making plays, and I told Coach Hurd to get him out of there, but he is leaner, he's strong, he looks really, really good, and he's able to, he's got his body right, and like I said, it took us some time to get to that point with the plan that we put him on, but I really attribute that to our strength staff, and Dr. Ray really heads that up, and that part of the component of it with Dave Ballew's right-hand assistance with our injured guys, and then, with Kyle Blackman, our head trainer, just really working well together and getting him, because we need him. We need him to be out there, and you can't get ready to play at a high level if you're not getting all the reps. And so that's been a big plus for us.
Andy.
By design tonight, you were depending on youngish along the offensive line. What did you see from those guys?
Yeah, the bottom line is that there was a few times where they lost some one-on-ones and gave up some pressure. But overall, they were creating some creases in the run game, which is what you want to do, and giving our guys a chance. Obviously, we had just a couple young running backs rotating in there. A lot of guys didn't go tonight in the backfield that we'll have in the fall. But I thought they made some growth. Once again, that group, you can get on the board and talk about it, but you need to go do it. And then you got film to grade off of it and to teach off of and coach off of that. So those 60-some reps today were really, really big for that young offensive line.
Peaks.
39-yard touchdown throw to tie, and
What do you see there? And do you see this being a little bit more vertical offense?
Yeah, I think the bottom line is that we definitely want to do a great job of creating more explosive plays, and that is, I do see us throwing the football down the field more, and that's by design. And obviously Westbrook's going to be a big part of that. He didn't participate today, but he's been doing some really good job of that in practice because he has a lot of vertical speed and he has the length to go with it. Ty can really run. He's gotten faster, and he'll get faster in these next 3 months. And Donovan's gotten faster too. And then Wops didn't play today, and he's the guy that can stretch the field as well. And so I think Miles is another guy that you're going to see can stretch it. So we just got to be able to, it's just a part of the game that I know we have to have. And the play action will set that up, and running the football is a big part of it. But I want that ball thrown down the field. We got some big receivers that do a good job of tracking the ball and bodying people up and going and getting it, and that will not change. And so we just need to continue to make it a focus, which we have, and it's not going to change. I want us to have the best summer we've ever had with our quarterbacks and receivers and their work. And we've really challenged them, set up some new structures with that to help us with it, with the timing of it all, because we have 3 quarterbacks that we feel have very strong attributes that we want to get ready. And so, but that's a big part of that. And part of it's timing too, And so I think that the more they throw the ball together and work on the concepts that Coach, the boys brought to us, it's going to be continue to get better and better.
Cam?
Tom, you mentioned kind of off the top about Michael Penix in the 7-on-7. Did you see what you wanted to see from him as he continues to kind of work his way back?
Yeah, I just wanted to get reps, and to me, it's all about learning a new system. Everything that we do, I've sit in every single quarterback meeting this spring, and just letting them grow and learn, and just, it's once again, it's hard to learn a system when you're not in there as much, and so I just felt it was important that he got more reps today, which we were able to do, and the timing with the receivers as well. His arm strength and the zip on the ball is obviously there, but it's more than that, and that's where he needed that today, and he'll need the whole summer to get himself ready to go and have a great fall camp, and as those 3 guys know, the competition is on, and that's part of the process of this was, to me, was key tonight. And I'm glad we structured it the way we did. It wasn't a ton of reps for him, but it was a lot of good reps, and even the ones that we once again get in there, we'll get on the film room and teach him off of it and help him continue to grow as a player.
Zach and then Salmon.
I know he's the only quarterback that took reps tonight, at least in that live 11-on-11 work, but Peyton's talked about being more comfortable throwing vertically and just pushing the ball downfield a little bit more. I know it's a new system and there's a lot of new install, but do you feel like he's more comfortable with that as the returning starter, being ready and just kind of being, sort of, I guess, again, comfortable airing the ball out a little bit?
There's no question. I think he saw that tonight too, and he's obviously a guy that has a lot of great qualities, and he's just such a tough, gritty guy that gets first downs. Even today with his legs, he extended the plays, got some key first downs, and he'll always do that. And he's a little limited when you make it. He's a guy you're just tagging off on in a non-life situation for our quarterback. So, but the arm strength is continual. He's in there all the time working extra, and Dr. Ray has worked really hard with him to continue to find ways to strengthen his arm, and then in the confidence of throwing down the middle. We were on the perimeter more last year, but we need to throw the ball down the middle, and set things up. Once again, the play action game is big for that, and the seam routes and the way that we read that. So, like I said, he's got so many great things that he brings, and as a guy that our guys believe in, and he's a great leader and a tremendous person. So he's going to be battling, like all 3 of them will be, but all 3 of them have got to be able to throw that football down the field. That's going to be a big part of us being able to take those quality shots that are going to help us, and it's going to be creating other plays. It's things underneath, and then it's about explosive plays, whether the ball is thrown down the field or whether it's across the middle and then get the extra yards. Those are all part of it as well, and so that's where the scheme comes in, which I'm excited about, the things that we're going to be able to do offensively. So it was a good, really, really good month of practice, and like I said, these next 3 months are going to be critical.
Coach, it was a tough day to kick the ball with the wind. Your kickers, I think, I don't know the total, but they only missed 1. Logan and Charles have been competing all spring. How comfortable are you with using both of them, and just how good can they be?
Yeah, we were, as you said, we were 9 for 10 on the day, and I think that Logan, going into last fall camp, it was neck and neck, and it was even, I would have to honestly say, even up till the week before the first game, it could have been, depending on which day, so I just decided to go with, you know, Logan was just a tad bit more, you know, accurate, but Charles was right there, and Logan was older, and more experienced, and been here, and so I just felt like he proved me right and had a great season. So, but he knows, and I challenged him, you know, in Thursday's practice. You know, I told Charles, beat him out, you know, and Logan, don't you dare let him beat you out, you know. But that's the mindset, you know. I want guys competing, and that keeps him sharp. And so, you know, you never know. And you know, Charles has been redshirted, so that's years is behind him, so he can kick. And so we'll go with the best guy. You know, right now I think Logan had a tremendous spring. He gets great lift on the ball. He hit one the other day. It's 60-yarder, and it was just, you know, it was very comfortable, you know. And he's just really, I think he's physically gotten stronger. And we've worked with him and with our strength staff trying to create more explosive power for him. So, but yeah, having two really good kickers is a plus, and you know, it's about scoring points. You got to be able to, as we all know, we won the game last year on the field goal, and we're going to have to win more this year on field goals. You know, so those are going to be a valuable weapon for us.
Jim, then Zach to wrap it up.
Coach, you're implementing a new offense, which is always difficult enough, but you have some quarterback issues right now. But are you where you thought you'd be, want to be, ahead, behind?
Yeah, I would say where we want to be. You know, it's hard to totally anticipate how it's going to go until you get into it. You know, I didn't anticipate, you know, not having Jack the last week of practice, so that made it a little bit tougher. But fortunately, he got the majority of spring ball already, you know, under his belt, which was good. And you know, Peyton kind of had to carry their load here at the end. But I think when you look at, you go back and you set your goals, which the first goal was for us to be able to, you know, get better fundamentally in our technique work, and I think that was achieved this spring. And then the goal of implementing the new offense, and then tweaking our defense, and the things that we did schematically and on the install, and then, you know, getting a good feel for your depth chart, and just kind of have a better understanding of, you know, 1s and 2s and 3s and where they stack up and where we are depth-wise. So you say you set your goals, and then you go back and look at it and say, okay, where are we at this point? And I'll watch the film and kind of get a final analysis of that. But just by observation of this, you know, with today's scrimmage and then you know, the last 14 practices, I do feel like offensively, you know, the things that we had set to install, we had got to, you know, and now we just got to, you know, we're going to do a summer install as well, and then get that reviewed, and like everybody does this time of year. But we are going to try to intensify that a little bit, you know, for more than we've done in the past, and we're explaining that to our team and our coaching staff. So I just think that you know, it's critical that, you know, by that opening game kickoff, that's when it matters, and we just build from there.
I think you might have, just procedural, I think you might have talked about it a minute ago, but Stevie seemed to be a lot in 7-on-7 more so than 11-on-11. Is that just kind of giving him?
Yeah, I told Coach Hart that I've seen enough, okay? I know exactly what Stevie can do, and so I did not want him to get tackled today. And so we put him in on 7-on-7s when it was tag tempo, you know, because, you know, it just takes one, you know, to me, he's a guy that, and I had to sit him down, you know, he's young still, to understand, you know, how do you prepare yourself to be an elite player in this conference and still not take, you know, 30 snaps in a scrimmage, you know, and take all those hits, and so to still be able to secure the football. So we got a lot of live goes out of him this spring. We just, once I felt good about that he had gotten enough, you know, attempts and carries and got hit enough and protected the ball enough. I mean, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's a step faster than he was last year. He's more confident, he runs with more decisiveness, and you know, you see that growth. And so, like I said, I had seen enough, so the plan was definitely not to have him get hit today.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Elio.